Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Hello, I am Salih Rumeisa, PhD student in Management Projects at the University of XVIII in Algeria. I'd like to take this opportunity to talk about the impact of delay on cost overruns in construction projects in Algeria. Delay is considered as one of the most common problems causing multitude negative effects on projects and its participating parties. Among these effects are cost overruns. When there is a delay in construction projects, they are either expedited or the scheduled time for the completion of projects is extended. The result is cost overrun in both cases. The objective of this study is to measure the impact of delays on cost overruns in Algerian construction projects. Research methodology. Data concerning actual and planned costs and duration from 11 public projects in the region of Constantine in Algeria has been collected and then classified into two categories according to their sector: administrative buildings and economic infrastructures, and education sector. In order to examine the effects of delays on cost overrun, we have introduced two variables: cost overrun, which is the difference between the actual and the planned cost, and time overrun, which is the difference between the actual and the planned duration. And then the effect of time overrun on cost overrun was investigated using the simple linear regression. Findings: the mean of planned duration for the 11 selected projects varied from 284 days to 1,147 days, with a standard deviation of 110 and 687 days respectively. However, the mean of actual costs for the 11 selected projects was 460,819,000 dinars, with a high value of standard deviation 359,648,000 dinars, while the planned cost for the same projects was 155,034,000 dinar in mean and 94,241,000 dinar in standard deviation. From these results, we can notice that the actual duration for each project varies considerably from the planned duration. Also, there is a large difference between the mean of actual and the planned costs and the high values of standard deviation. Based on all this foregoing, we can say that the cost required to complete construction projects is almost always greater than the cost specified in the contract, and this can be explained by the increased rate of time overruns. This finding confirmed the statement of Gajar that delay are almost always accompanied by cost overruns, and the assertion of Gbagbo and Adjouan, who identified schedule overrun as the primary cause of cost overruns. Linear regression. The simple linear regression was used to develop an equation that describes the relationship between delay and cost overrun. The cost overrun was the independence variable and time overrun was the dependence variable. The equation developed to measure the cost overruns based on time overruns for the administrative buildings was y equal 24.66x plus 27,000. And the equation developed to measure the cost overruns for the projects of the education sector was y equal 828.80x plus 55,337. The coefficient of determination R² were found to be 0.80 and 0.62 for the projects of administrative buildings and education sector respectively. This implied that 80.60% and 62.80% of the variation in cost overrun of the respective projects categorized can be explained by time overruns. Also, the regression coefficient of correlation for the projects of administrative buildings and economic infrastructures and the projects of education sector was respectively 0.89 and 0.79. This indicates that the distribution of time overrun mirrors the cost overrun with a high degree of accuracy and ensures that there is a strong relationship between the two variables. Also, the calculated feature statistic for the administrative buildings and economic infrastructures was 12.43 with a p-value of 0.039, which is inferior of 5%. Hence, the model is significant at the level of 95%. However, the calculated feature for the projects of education sector was 6.758 with a p-value of 0.06, which is inferior of 10%, so the model is significant at the level of 90%. Delay is one of the most recurring problems in construction projects in Algeria, and it's considered as the main cause of cost overrun. Therefore, the simple linear regression was used in order to measure the impact of delays on cost overruns. The findings show that there is a strong positive relationship between cost and time overruns. Also, the tests used prove that the developed model is appropriate for the prediction of cost overrun, and it can be used by practitioners in construction as a predictive measure to reduce possible cost overrun. Thank you.